Alright, well, you guys wanted to see the end product of my labors here, so here's my Suburban SS16 1974 model, 16 horse owning, good running on the track, a little rough. I'm going to take care of that. This is the hydraulic system that I designed for it, built. The pressure release valve and the pump itself, all that came off eBay. The rest of the hoses, Northern Tool. The tank here, I got a small piece of scrap from work, and the cap right here, I got that also. The insert right here, which goes into the frame, that's all hand built. And this particular pump is really funny. I've never seen one like this. It's just got a hose that comes out the bottom. I guess it's part of the lubrication system. It kept leaking fluid all over the place, so I put this gooseneck in and connect that so it feeds it right back into the tank. This right here is the one that I built for it the first time. And as you can see, it's a little big. Kind of looked like a coffee table sticking out in front of my tractor, so I got rid of it. The piece that held it came off of my shredder, which is a factory model. I'm going to cut that tank off, grind it back up, and reconnect it back to it. The lines feed all the way to the back here to my hydraulic control, which I've got mounted directly to the seat. I need to do a little bit of refining. It's a little bit too low because it's rubbing against my fender, which I'm going to take care of that shortly. But it works just like any conventional tractor hydraulic system. You pull back, it goes up, push forward, it goes down. You know, same as always. This is my hitch system that I designed for it. I sort of just welded some arms coming up off the original hitch to the hitch arms right here. The hydraulic cylinder I got off eBay, I think that came off of a Club Cadet. It's a 16-inch total extension on it, so that's pretty much what I needed. I originally had it welded with a bracket to the bottom of the tongue here. As you can see, it couldn't take it, so it snapped off. So I just cut it straight across, nice and clean. It doesn't even look like any damage was done. But I fabricated this bracket right here and welded that straight to the hitch plate. So it's not welded to the frame itself, so when I remove this hitch plate, all this will come with it. So, you know, the lines feed down, you know, up and down, left and right. The arms itself I designed because the original ones, you know, it just came down and popped out with a little cotter pin held in it, and frequent use wore that pin out, and, you know, damn things would just pop out. So I redesigned it, made these, stiffened them up. They seem to work pretty good. Incorporated this back into it because that's a must for the turning plow. The grade blade I made for it, something I totally did myself. It's just stuff I scrapped from work, built it. It swivels on this main pin right here. You pull this bolt out, and there's a series of holes underneath this plate with nuts welded underneath the bottom. So it'll be at 90, 75, 45, and 25 degrees, so you can can it for plowing. Plus, you can pull this bolt out and you can completely spin it all the way around, put the bolt back in, because the same patterns here is over here. So you can push back with it, you know. Only thing I need to do is just get a piece of probably Gialloid or high manganese steel to run for a wear strip at the bottom, because you know I'm just going to wear the thing out. I got my disc right here. I mean, it's just a standard run-of-the-mill disc, but because I used a hydraulic system on it, I had to beef it up. So I welded this piece right here, which is 3/8 bar up to it, and then another piece along the back side right here for support and stability. I also welded the seams here and also put angles on the corners because I was really worried about it twisting the frame. I really beefed it up. I have a series of weights that I built to set in here. I mean, they're over there. I'm not going to go tote them because they weigh about almost 80 pounds a piece, and I really don't feel like toting them. I have a turning plow for it, which, because when I redesigned the hitch, I shortened it up, so I had to literally cut about 2 inches off the top of my plow where it makes a connection into the hinge pin, and shorten it up 2 inches. So that solved that little issue. But other than that, you know, everything seems to be going good, so I'm going to crank it up and let you guys have a running look at the system and show how it works. Everything is tightened completely up using the mule drive system, but there isn't much tension on it, because I was worried about damaging the pump itself. So you can disengage it, and the belt will still turn. I mean, the pump doesn't put out that much pressure, so you know, it doesn't really matter. Alright. Demonstration for how this little bugger here works now. Like I said, you know, alright, here we go, picking it up. And she'll pick it right up off the ground. So, that goes pretty good, I think. I mean, I have a few issues I got to work out, a few bugs, you know, there always is. I mean, for instance, these bars I welded across there. See, when I originally built it, I had a bar that went straight across, straight into this, which helped pick both arms up at the same time. Well, because I shortened everything up, whenever I'd pick it up, it would strike my turnbuckle right here. And I didn't want to damage this, because them things are pretty hard to find. And it's striking down here a little bit too. So in the winter, if I get a chance to dismantle this thing and completely repaint it like I want it, I'm going to knock out these two bars. Or as a matter of fact, I'll probably just redesign this whole top. I'm going to leave the bolt holes and the hinge pin on the hitch plate in place, but the main swivel pin, I'm probably going to replace all that and rebuild this. Most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of plate steel right on top, completely weld it all the way around, and probably run another piece from here all the way across for support so it won't torque whenever I go to pick it up. So that's it, you know, my little toy. You know, when I first got it, I paid $5.50 for it, and I was sort of disappointed because it came with a homemade middle buster, and I was seriously thinking about getting rid of it. So I decided just to Google it, and lo and behold, you know, I didn't realize, but these little things are like the Swiss Army knives of lawn tractors. You know, this thing has all kinds of attachments that comes on them. So I kept looking, and I saw the electric actuators, and I thought about getting one of those, and I realized how slow they are. Some of them are pretty fast, but I figured I'd get a little bit more creative. So I decided to build me a hydraulic system for it. So, and this is the end result. It's still a work in progress. I'm going to make some improvements on it, but you know, all in all, it does real good. I need to get me some ag tires for it, because them turf tires right there, they ain't got the grip to pull like it ought to. And she's really light in the rear end, so I'm going to get me some ag tires for it and have them fluid filled, and most likely try to get some wheel weights for it, so I can really put some poundage on the ground, so that way she'll pull real good. But that's it. Thank you for your time. Bye.